Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another video. So the other day I was answering comments and I got one that really got me thinking. Why are men so interested in growing muscles? There must be a good reason since so many men invest the time and money in this pursuit, and as far as I know, it's not related to health. So I thought this was an interesting subject because it definitely got me thinking of all the reasons why I do it, and there definitely isn't just one reason, and some of those reasons are definitely for health, but some of them aren't. So by the time I was done answering that comment, I realized that this would probably make a good subject for a video. So I'm gonna answer that question here today, hopefully give her some insight and also maybe inspire some other people to start lifting or start weight training. And then if you already are, maybe, remind you as to why you're doing it. And if you already are weight training, and you have a love for it and you're trying to build muscle, I would love to know in the comments down below why you're doing that. So maybe you can answer me and let me know. I don't know what that was. So while her question was directed towards me, a man, I think that many of these reasons, as you will see, can apply to just about anyone. There are a few men-specific reasons in here, but yeah, like I said, I think many of these can apply to anybody. So she did mention, why do men put the time into doing this? And yes, it definitely will take time, but she also mentioned money. And it doesn't have to cost you money. Like, sure, of course, you can buy gym memberships and a whole bunch of like supplements, and you can buy a ton of like expensive home gym equipment or whatever, but it doesn't have to be that way. So when I started, I was so broke and I didn't have any money to be spending on supplements or gym memberships or anything like that. And what I would do is I would just start doing like pull-ups in the forest when I was on my runs. And then I'd do like a whole bunch of push-ups when I got home. And then when I started progressing a little bit further, I found out there was a calisthenics park near my house. So I would go down there and do a whole bunch of body weight training. Like, it is amazing what you can do with just your body weight and even just the ground. But if you want, you can always go to a playground or something like that, and it's virtually free. And before we get any further into the video, I just want to get it out of the way that I don't really consider myself a bodybuilder. Maybe a lifter or like, I don't know, an athlete who likes to build muscle, but I wouldn't consider myself like a bodybuilder. When I think of a bodybuilder, I think of somebody who puts building muscle first, over top of like health, over top of longevity. And the primary goal is to put on as much muscle as possible, whatever that means. And that's definitely not me. For me, health comes first, longevity, staying injury free, all that stuff comes on top of building muscle. Also having fun, enjoying what I'm doing, that all comes on top. And building muscle is just like a really nice side effect of the activity that I do. Oh man, thimbleberry, don't mind if I do. These are so delicious. You don't ever see them in stores because I don't think they'd ship very well, but they're called the thimbleberry because if I flip it over, you can see it looks like a thimble. And man, they taste like some kind of jam. They're so good, so flavorful. They've got a bunch of little seeds in it, so they're a little bit crunchy. But wow, packed with flavor and not sour at all, like so sweet. So with all that out of the way, I think I've narrowed it down to about 8 or 9 points as to why I like to build muscle and weight train. And while I'm not speaking for all men out there, I think a lot of people have these same reasons. So, okay, what this sign says, oh, there's a bear in the area. Perfect. Please stay on the trails, because the bears, they never go on the trails. Gosh. So first I'll answer like the more personal ones, and then the last few are going to be like more sciencey ones. And yes, some of them are health related. It's not all vanity. So number 1, I enjoy how it makes me feel. So we all know that exercising releases endorphins. Those are those feel-good chemicals. So I know whenever I go into the gym, no matter what mood I'm in, if I'm in a bad mood or a good mood, I know whenever I leave the gym, I'm gonna be in an even better state of mind. Exercise, and especially resistance training, is amazing for our mental health. And the effects don't seem to be like short-lasting. It's not just like for half an hour or whatever after you work out that you feel better. It seems to just be progressive, like you just start feeling better all the time. So with mental health being like such a big thing nowadays, I think it should definitely be one of the sort of treatment options or remedies that people reach for before they try, anything else. And of course, it can be done in conjunction with other things as well, but I definitely think it should be part of it because there's really no ill side effects that come from it, and you can really only gain benefits. And I've seen it not only in myself, but I've seen it in other people around me. You know what else is good for your mental health is getting out into the forest. This little part of the forest right here is one of my favorite parts. There's just so many like ferns around, and the forest kind of opens up, and there's all these beautiful trees and so much moss. Man, it's just amazing. So reason number 2 is I like the challenge, and I like seeing my body get stronger and improve. So it is such a cool feeling when you realize that, you start adding weight to your lifts, you're able to do things with your body that you weren't able to do before. Stuff feels lighter, you're putting extra plates onto the bar. Like, it is just such a cool feeling, and it's so rewarding, and it is like an immediate marker of your progression. So right away you can tell, hey, this time I'm at the gym, I can do this move, or I can lift this much more, or do this many more reps. And it's just such a gratifying feeling. And that's actually one of the reasons why I love calisthenics so much, is that you practice a skill and you work towards it, and then when you can finally do it, there's just like no better feeling in the world. Like, I will never forget the first time that I did a muscle up, or the first time that I did like a 360 re-grab on the bar, even though I think I injured my shoulder doing that. I'll never forget that feeling. Number 3, it makes everyday tasks that much easier. So I've always loved the saying, stay ready so you don't have to get ready, and I think this applies so well to this point. So if you have something heavy that you have to lift up around the house, it makes it that much easier to do, and you can do it without worrying that you're gonna like blow your back out or hurt your knees or fall when you're doing it. Like, being strong is so good for those situations. In fact, I often tell like my elderly neighbors that live around me, I tell them, hey, if there's something heavy that you need lifted, or something that you're going to struggle with, just knock on my door, ask me, because this is why I train. I train so I can lift heavy things, help other people, and they usually give a bit of a chuckle, but I'm like, no, I'm serious. Like, I want to test this strength. Number 4, I absolutely love the community at our gym. So I grew up playing team sports, and I loved the team aspect of it. I love that we are all working towards a common goal, whether that be winning the game or scoring a goal or whatever it is. And I find the gym to be a lot like that. And although we're not working towards scoring a goal or beating the other team, because there really is no other team, I do find that it has that sort of team aspect to it. And I just love the camaraderie at the gym, and especially our gym. When I roll up to the gym and I see a bunch of the regulars there and, a bunch of friendly faces and some of my friends are there, I know that I'm in for a good time. And everyone is like so encouraging, no matter what level people are at. And, we're all working towards a common goal. While it might not be scoring a goal or a touchdown or winning the game or whatever, we're all working towards getting fitter, healthier, just stronger, gaining muscle, whatever it is. We're all working towards a very similar goal. And like I said, everyone's so encouraging. We all share different like tips and different exercises that we've learned. And if you need someone to spot you, they're there to do that. So I just absolutely love that aspect of it. So this next answer, I think, is probably the answer the person asking the question was expecting. And I'll say it, number 5, I like how it makes me look. So I like looking fit, I like looking strong, I like having a little bit of muscle on my frame. I really like how it makes me look in clothing, how it helps me kind of fill out shirts. There's no feeling better than when your shirt is like, a little bit tighter on your biceps. And I even like how it makes me look in like a tank top, how it makes me look with my shirt off. And I know it seems a little bit vain, but it is definitely one of the reasons. And what's pretty cool is it's one thing that we can do to change our appearance. Like, I can't really change the fact that I'm kind of short or that I have like a patchy beard or anything like that, but I can put on muscle. And of course, this could be said for anything that requires, dedication and time and effort and all that sort of stuff. Like playing an instrument, for instance. Like when you see someone who can just absolutely crush it on a piano or guitar or something, you know that that has taken years and years of dedication. So you have a certain amount of respect for that. Well, I don't think this is that much different, but you can just see it when you look at somebody. And I really like that aspect of it, that right away it gives somebody a clue into my character that I am dedicated, I'm hardworking, and I'm consistent. So this next one definitely is a little bit specific to me, but I do think it's worth mentioning. So number 6, don't have enough fingers on one hand. Number 6 is I wanted to prove to myself and to others that you can build muscle on a fully vegan diet. And without taking any, exogenous hormones or anything like that, it can be done. So I know I'm not the first to do it. I'm not the last. I'm not like the biggest vegan or anything like that. But I'm sure a lot of you have heard this story. But when I started doing nutritional consulting after I became a holistic nutritionist, I was a runner and I was really lean and I was thin, and running was like great. It was really easy for me at that body weight. And then when I started coaching people, people would say to me, hey, like this sounds great and it may work for you. However, I want to put on some muscle. And I realized that was going to be a big roadblock for me. So I was like, hey, I want to prove it to myself and I want others to see that you can do it. So, I kind of just went on this mission to build muscle. And that's where, I started just when I was running in the forest, started doing pull-ups, started doing push-ups on logs and different things like that. And eventually just started to put on muscle. And I've absolutely fallen in love with it. So that's why I keep doing it. All right, so now for some more sciencey ones. Boring. No, actually they're not though. They're pretty cool, but I have made some notes because, they're not like a personal story like those other ones. So I kind of have to read some of them because I'm not that great at memorizing this kind of stuff. But there's just a few of these. Number 7, muscle mass helps to control blood sugar. So studies have shown that relative muscle mass is inversely correlated with insulin resistance, prediabetes, and type 2 diabetes. One of the ways is that trained muscles are better at storing glucose in the form of glycogen. When glucose is stored instead of roaming around freely in the blood, it helps to reduce overall blood sugar levels, which decreases the risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Number 8, muscle helps to support healthy joints and strong bones. So building muscle through resistance training actually helps to increase bone density, but having more muscle around your joints actually helps to strengthen those and also to keep everything where it is. I mean, it really makes sense if you think about it. You don't want your joints to be all like weak and, have no muscle around them, but it's definitely worth mentioning, and it's one of the many health-related benefits that comes with building muscle. So when I was younger, I actually had a pretty bad back injury where I fractured one of my vertebrae. And when the doctors found it, they were like, this is bad. And they said, they basically told me I'm probably going to need surgery when I'm older. I might even end up in a wheelchair. And that was really scary for me. So I knew and continue to know that I have to keep my core really strong in order to support that, because what happened when the vertebrae was fractured is it like slipped forward towards my belly button, and I have like a super gnarly like sway back. But as long as I keep my core strong, which includes, not only the front, but the sides and also my back, as long as I keep that good and strong, I really don't have very much back pain. Of course, it acts up from time to time, and I have to be really careful with like doing, heavy deadlifts and stuff like that. But, I'm walking. I haven't needed surgery or anything like that. So definitely another good reason to resistance train and build some muscle. Number 9, it helps to control body fat and also maintain healthy hormone levels. So while weight training has been shown to temporarily increase testosterone levels in men, it doesn't seem to translate to long-term increased testosterone levels. However, higher body fat equals more estrogen, which equals lower testosterone. So higher body fat in men, especially as we age, is one of the top predictors of low testosterone. And men, if you're aging, you'll know as we age, especially over the age of like 35 or so, your testosterone starts to drop every single year. And you really want to keep that high. So muscle actually takes quite a lot of energy to maintain. Even if you're not working out, just to hold on to it, it burns a lot of calories. So the more muscle you have, the more calories that you're gonna burn. And obviously, the more exercise that you do, the more calories that you're gonna burn, the less body fat you're gonna have. And weight training is an excellent way to do all of that. And it's also kind of a sneaky loop, because the more testosterone that you have, the more you're gonna feel like working out, the more energy you're gonna have, the more of that sort of drive you're gonna have. So the more you're gonna wanna weight train. So it's important to maintain a healthy body because it's much easier to maintain than it is to get there. Well, that wasn't very vegan, was it? But if you're attacking me, you're gonna get attacked. So those are all the reasons that I can think of right now to answer the question as to why I like to pursue building muscle and spending all the time and the money and everything doing it. So you will have to let me know in the comments down below, what are your reasons for, wanting to stay fit, healthy, active, and build muscle? And I'd love to read them. So thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I really hope you learned something. Hit the like button if you liked it. It helps me out a lot. Subscribe so that you can see more, and I will see you soon with another video. Here's some other videos of mine that I think you might like, and if you're looking for some delicious and healthy plant-based recipes, check out my new recipe ebook, Easy Vegan Comfort Meals. It contains over 60 plant-based recipes, lots of delicious sauces that I know you're gonna love. Thanks for watching, and thanks for the support.